Welcome to Neighbourhood with MGM Properties. We're here in Rosebery. I'm just about to go in and visit Matt Shalhoub from Under the Hammer. He's got a great auction centre that's just been set up, a great place, of course, here in Rosebery. Welcome to MGM Properties. Here we're all about community, lifestyle, culture and family, so come be part of ours. Here I am with Matt Shalhoub from Under the Hammer Auctions. Matt, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thanks for coming out, Michael.
I've got a few questions I want to ask you, Matt.
Fire away.
3 tips you can give a first-time attendee to an auction.
3 tips. Okay, well, something we get asked quite often by people coming out, especially first-time experience at auction. I suppose the best 3 to simplify it would be first and foremost to always have a limit. Once you've got a limit, I always suggest to have a second limit because normally the excitement and the energy of an auction can make you want to break that just a little bit. So always be prepared for the second barrier. The second tip is always to research the local marketplace, know exactly what you're buying into. And often that can also be done by going out and attending other auctions and seeing what people are actually paying and doing in the area. And I think the final tip is probably one of the most important. It's really important to liaise and converse with the agent who's selling the property. A lot of the times I find that people think they need to keep the agent at arm's length and keep completely away from them. I think you find that the more that you converse with an agent, and you'll be able to testify to this, the more they're going to be able to help you and assist you along the way.
I strongly agree 100%. A lot of the people that come to us and say, look, I'm nervous, when do I start bidding, at what stage? I guess if you're honest enough with the purchasers and they're comfortable, you'll get a bid out of them and then hopefully they'll buy a property. Matt, you grew up in Rosebery. How do you see the demographics and the change of people moving into the area?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I was actually born in Rosebery and spent a lot of time growing up around Rosebery and Matraville. And ironically, the office is now back in Rosebery, so I see not only the people but the businesses that have integrated to the area. I think what we find on a week-to-week basis is the diversity of people moving into the pocket, not just Rosebery, but the surrounds, Mascot, Botany, Alexandria, Green Square and Zetland, Waterloo, etc. You can't actually tag one particular type of person. So we're getting a lot of professional singles, professional couples, young working families, even a demographic of empty nesters and retirees looking to capitalise on the thriving unit market space. The other thing that I'm finding as well is the second generation of local residents who are growing up, don't want to be too far from mum and dad and the family, and they're investing into the local homes and adding their own flair, renovations and taste. So I think that diversity has really helped pushing the area forward. Just by walking outside my doors here and around the corner, you see the amount of new cafes, trendy restaurants, and even got bars and distilleries up the road. So I think that gives you a really good sign of what the area is actually doing.
Matt, I know a lot of auctioneers, you have their own sort of style,
and
you've been building yours up, and I believe just like any agent or any professional, we're always developing ourselves. Tell me something, what do you feel comfortable and really strong when you turn up to an auction? What makes you power on? What gives you strength in how you're going to start an auction?
I think that, like anything, the more you do, the better you become. And you can study or learn so many tools or so many parts of the craft, the theory and also the dialogue. But I think the key to it is actually being able to identify and read what's going on there, and you really just use your senses and you feel it. So in order to get things started, believe it or not, the key to it is having the right information from our agents. And when they give us the right information, we've got the ammunition to push forward and power on for that big, energetic thing at the end of the auction that everyone's waiting to hear. You know what that is? Sold.
That's it.
That's it.
Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming out,
Michael.
Michael.
With MGM Properties, and we'll see you next time in the next auction.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. Well, that was Matt Shalhoub from Under the Hammer Auctions, and let me tell you, some great tips there for buyers, some interesting stories that I'm sure all great auctioneers have got to say. Thanks for watching Neighbourhood with MGM Properties. We'll see you next time.